go. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Mars in the ascendant of Virgo. Meaning, what happens when Mars is in the first house in the sign of Virgo. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this particular position, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, along with all your astrological details, check out the links here, KRSastrology.com, where you'll find my books, reports, and consultation. Including link to my academy, Modern Vedic Astrology Academy. So, anyway, guys, Mars in the ascendant, right? For Virgo. So, first thing you will see is that such a person constantly deals with some kind of health issue. Usually, in my practical analysis, because first I'm like, oh, it's Mars, and it's in the ascendant. It's in Virgo. Whoa. No, because what I saw most of the time, too much fire, too much pitta in the digestion area, which kind of brings about constipation. So usually what I've found is that people, let's say they got a career reading from me, because, I don't do health reading. They got a career, they got a marriage, they got a nakshatra reading. They're like, I've had this constipation. I've had this issue with digestion, in my life. And then I saw that, Mars was either in ascendant in Virgo or Mars was lastly just in Virgo. So I realized there's like pitta happening in the digestion area. So a person deals with that. Then the other thing that I also see is that especially because of the past life, paternal karmas and lineage, a person also gets into physical fights with people, especially when they're young, when they're in their that hot-blooded time period, which is like literally from 16 to like 22, 21. They'll get into physical fights with people, and they can even lose that battle. Unless a benefic looks at Mars, then the person will win those fights. Otherwise, they will get themselves beat up. And you will see whenever they get beat up, they will either suddenly have a desire to join the army, join, some kind of a government service, suddenly wanting to go towards yoga, meditation. You will see that happen when Mars is in Virgo. Okay? Because as soon as the person is defeated, what happens is the person will try to strive towards its exalted position. Like the hit that you received when you were 15, 16. Let's say even in 20s. For example, like depending upon the position of Jupiter, you have to see which round of Jupiter is going to bring this, especially when Jupiter goes over Mars. It brings this humility into this individual. And you must be thinking, well, Mars is in Virgo. It's a feminine sign. The person should be feminine. I can show you UFC fighters with Mars in Virgo and Mars in Pisces. Go mess with them. Okay. So this does not mean like one is so feminine and all that. See, Virgo is the natural sixth house of conflict. You got to understand that part. It's a sixth house of conflict. When it goes into the ascendant, you got to think about Virgo and Aries together. You've got two very similar signs actually. One is of conflict. The other is of protection, security. Such people, especially when they're young, they'll protect their friends. They'll get into fights with their on behalf of their friends. They'll jump into fights. And it's like they thrive on conflict. Like I have horoscope saved of people who are like, let's say, wanting to be in, mixed martial arts, wanting to be in, some kind of a UFC type scenario. And I would think like, well, Mars would be in Gemini, Leo, Capricorn. Actually, Mars would be in Virgo in most of those cases. Because Mars is like, I need conflict. I need to exert this energy through conflict. And it is the enemy sign of Mars. Because Mercury is the enemy of Mars. Mercury's exalted sign is Virgo. When Mars is in the Lagna, meaning the ascendant in Virgo, one will not think before they take the action. This is why messing with this person is like you're just calling for a battle. You say something to them, they won't even probably reply back. They'll just hit you first. For them, that protection and that wanting to secure one's body comes into play by conflict. You have to understand that. And of course, even such an individual will have a lot of disputes with younger siblings, a lot of disputes with in-laws, constant disputes with father-in-law, whether it's over inheritance, land, one's own, expectation by the father-in-law. Those are the conflicts that you're going to be running into with this. So it's a very peculiar placement. Now, on the other hand, because of Mars in the ascendant, like I said, this person will get into conflict to protect themselves and protect the people around them. And then we also see that one of the maternal uncles, not aunts, one of the maternal uncles will have some kind of a surgery in their life. Not even the individual, unless the planetary placements are there of other planets. But I'm talking about maternal uncle. Will have some form of a surgery in their life after the birth of this individual who has Mars in the ascendant. Now think about that for a while. Okay. So anyway, guys, this is my analysis of Mars in the ascendant in Virgo. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you don't miss this type of placements. And if you want to know where your Mars is placed along with all your astrological details, check out the links here, KRSchannel.com. Otherwise, we'll see you later.